Let's go!
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Blazing the steel. Bring the heat. Mix it non-stop. Non-stop. With the hottest DJ.
I'm your host, Joshua Diaz.
Non-stop.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has...
is not, really? This to me. Right. Idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, that's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
What's up? How's it going?
But I have to...
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her... But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
What's up? It's always an event here, right? I mean, we all get together. It's like family at Thanksgiving. You got to get hyped. You got to get loud. And you got to get excited. I don't know why you would get excited, but I don't know. Maybe there's no reason to be excited. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just being Josh. I'm excitable. You get me riled up. I get riled up, that's what, and then my chord is enjoy your time, Peyton, because my chord's messed up. So that kind of stuff's supposed to be fixed. Because usually when I'm like throwing fits, like, and then, the studio's messed up, and then, I lost the thingy, I lost this little windscreen. I have no idea where it is. We are in anarchy mode, folks. Anarchy. But we got another mediocre show for you tonight, and I'm so glad that you are here at the lab. It is just great to see everybody. So I hope everybody has plans for New Year's. If you don't, I'll be asleep hopefully by like 9 that night. I hate fireworks. And that's all I really got to say about that. I hate fireworks with a passion. But I love the 4th of July. I love the 4th of July so much that there should be a 5th of July. There is a 5th of July, but it should be a national holiday. For that matter, make it a 3rd of July too. Just really, really pack in. We need more national holidays. I get really pissed off about the national holiday situation. It is something that I think about. And why I think about it, I don't know. But are you a grumpy guy? Probably. I think so, probably. Do I come off as that way? Is that my reputation around town? Is that my reputation? I'm grumpy. Let's see. 858-299-2504. I'm not usually grumpy. I don't think. Maybe I am. Who cares? Yeah, I'm probably grumpy. I will be sleeping as well unless you're live. Well, it can't be live if I'm asleep, but if I am, you'll be the first to know. I don't even know what day New Year's is, nor do I care. That's nope, you're not grumpy. I appreciate you saying that, but that's probably not true. All right, so let's just get into it tonight because that's always the best way. Let's just make progress through the... Let me see. Hold on. I gotta that Christmas theme's gotta go. And now chaos ensues. Enjoy yourself, Pay. I'm telling you, buddy. We may be the Beatles, but I'm McCartney. You understand? He doesn't understand, nor does he care. We are the Beatles. That's what we call ourselves, the Beatles. No, we don't. We don't call ourselves that at all, actually. So, all right. So guess what, everybody? Your favorite TikToker is back at it. Her account has been unsuspended, and she's posting on it again. Now, what I want to know is if this person who does the tarot cards, I know what I said, tarot cards, it's not French, and it's not Felipe, Felipe. You know what I'm saying? But she's back and she is energized. Now, one thing I gotta say about this, and I do sort of feel kind of strong about what I'm gonna say, and I know that there's a lot of people like, oh, oh, don't cover this, or, don't cover that. I don't want to hear that. I want to, okay, whatever. But I'm going to, because I think that I honestly think that it's important. And it's a discussion that's going to start coming up more and more and more. I mean, this is just the start of this mental illness type situation. But I truly think, and I'm sitting there thinking, is she doing this for clout? Is she doing this for money, views? And I was like, yeah, probably. I could see all that. Because that's what people do. People don't act this crazy unless there's usually some monetary value to it, or that they're just flat out crazy. And I don't mean to be disrespectful in that way. Mental illness is real, and it should be. Look, the United States, let alone the world, but the United States especially. Let's just say North America. We'll throw Canada in there too, just for our friends up north. Are absolutely, we're like 1,000 years behind when it comes to mental health, and we just are. We just are. Okay, so when I say this. Oh, wait. Well, stop. I'm telling you, man. I hate,
I have physical evidence.
No, you don't. So she said she has physical evidence, but she does. I don't know. I'm sure she doesn't have anything. Tarot cards do not count as physical evidence. That's what I know. But I'm convinced. Okay, she's gonna learn a lesson. Hey, what's up? I'm on the air. You call at the same time every night, and everybody's watching. What's up?
Well, I was returning your call from you called me when I was at work. So I guess we're doing the same thing.
No. You answered, and I said, you knew what I called
and
for.
And you answered. You answered.
I know, because this happens every night, and you love to call at 7. So, what's up?
Well, that's when I get off work, bud, and I didn't know you do a show every night.
Don't call me.
My apologies. I'll let you get back.
First of all, don't
I'll
call.
let you get back to work.
No. Stay here. Don't call me Bud. I was just calling to see how you were doing.
You're my bud.
Yeah, thanks, Bud. Oh, I'm just saying, it's good to hear from you. I hope you have a happy new year.
Great, you too. I'm sure I'll talk to you before then.
Hopefully. Bye.
Bye.
I just, is what it is. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air. I think.
You too. I'm sure I'll talk to you before then.
Bye. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi. You're on the air.
Maybe it's lagging for me.
What's that?
I keep getting told I'm on the air, but I called the lab, and this is not Josh.
Oh, it's Josh.
No. Maybe it's lagging for me.
It is. I think.
Oh, okay. No, it is. It is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, you're lagging. It's lagging, so it's behind because I'm listening to your show on a different phone.
Yeah, you got to turn it off.
Sorry about that. Here, hold on. Right. I can't believe. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I was a lab rat there for a long time, and then unfortunately,
then you started to hate the show.
No, actually, it was a lot worse. My ex-boyfriend went rogue on me there, got extremely belligerently drunk, and took a bunch of benzodiazepines, I guess, and he ended up locking himself into his bathroom, or in our bathroom. He doesn't live here anymore. I got him off my lease and pushed charges because he went in there, locked himself in the bathroom, sent all my money to his phone, and by the time I was able to get into it, his subscriptions took all of my money, so it left us broke, and I almost went homeless because of it, and he ended up rupturing my eardrum.
You don't happen to date Coy, do you?
No, his name's Dylan. I'm sure there's a million other Dylans out there.
Well, Dylan, you suck,
yeah.
too.
I know, fuck Dylan. It's for real, but if I didn't...
No F's and stuff.
Oh, sorry, no F's or S's. I'm sorry. Don't say any S's or F's.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Respectfully, F Dylan.
Yeah.
Respectfully. F Dylan.
Hey, sucks.
Yeah. I just wanted to call and just say, just outside of the stuff that we talk about or you talk about, so unfortunately my subscription got canceled, but regardless, or membership I should say, just domestic assault and stuff is super real, and it's really unfortunate. I never expected it from this guy, and I'm really disappointed, and I'm still healing from it. This happened a month and a half ago. I have to get fitted for a hearing aid due to it because how badly he ruptured my ear. And it just sucks, man. Wow. I don't know. I just wanted to talk to somebody about it. I know it's irrelevant to what you're talking about tonight, but
it's not irrelevant. Look, my life has been affected.
Everywhere. My
life has been affected by domestic violence, and so it's always on topic. And I was just having this conversation with my grandmother. There's this famous boxer that's getting ready to box in a couple of days, and over Christmas he just got arrested for domestic violence. He then says, "Oh yeah, I didn't do anything, right?" But I listened to the 911 calls from her, and I mean they're terrifying. And I just don't understand. I really, truly, with all my heart, don't understand why people feel they have the right to put their hands on other people for any reason. Male, female, female, male, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm baffled by that, to be honest with you.
I completely agree. I didn't fight back because how hard he was hurting me. And I mean, aside from him punching me in the ear, like he kicked me and stomped on me, he choked me, and then he bit me and ran out the door when he saw the police were back the second time. Like, I don't know why I convinced the guy to leave, but I did. The police officer that showed up, I should have pressed to have him taken then and there. But I didn't. I just told him he needs to just go to bed, and he unfortunately just didn't go to bed because he's done this shit so many times. But it was time for him to go. I pressed charges, and he's trying to claim he never left. He's saying that he talked to all my neighbors and everything, but they've all said to the contrary, that he did drive away. The people across the street could hear him screaming at me, all the noise, just everything going on. So they had to call him back. And I wasn't screaming or fighting back because I was afraid, because of how hard, like I said, he was hurting me, that he might accidentally kill me. Yeah. And I did have a pocket knife under my pillow just in case. And I was inching closer to it because I was that afraid. And I would rather my kids to have a mom in jail than, I'm sorry, honey. I'd rather just have in jail or in prison than not have a mom at all. So yeah, he's in rehab. He's not coming back here. Yeah, I got him off my lease. But it just sucks, man. I tried so hard for 2 years with this guy through his alcoholism and his drug addiction. And I've been there, done that myself. So I thought I could help him, but there's just no fixing some people. And now I have a child with him, and it sucks. I just feel so bad for this boy because this little baby is. I just feel horrible. He's got horrible genetics. I'm a crybaby, pushover, and his dad's a narcissistic sociopath. So God only knows what's gonna happen with him eventually. I just hope that I can break the cycle and help him and my other boy and show them that there's a better way to live, and that, because there really is. So, I'm glad you answered my call. I was surprised when you did. I was like, holy shit, because, I listen to you every night, and sometimes I have to listen to your replays, and I know you hate hearing this, but sometimes you help, me fall asleep.
I do not.
I don't know what it is.
I don't hate hearing that.
I don't know what it is.
And I'm on late, so I get that.
It does. It helps a lot. It really does.
Let me, just really quick. First of all, I just want to say how incredibly sorry I am that this is happening to you and that this has happened to you. Okay. Domestic violence is something that I take extremely seriously, and I hate it. Now, I hope that you have the resources that you need to deal with what you're dealing with mentally. Okay. If you don't, it's imperative that you do that. Second of all, you said that this has happened several times. The one thing that you can't...
within my lifetime. Him being belligerently drunk and acting like a douchebag, yes, but he's never been violent towards me until that night. But
no matter what he says, and he's going to say, "I'd never do it again. I'll never do it again." That's what they say. You can't. First of all, you can't believe that, and you can't go back to him. And another thing you said was that he might accidentally kill me. There is nothing accidental about it if he did. Okay? You can't inflict bodily harm on somebody, hit them in the head, and expect them to be perfectly fine. Whether or not he intended for you to receive, further injuries or not, that's not.
Oh no, he meant to.
Oh, of course he did.
He fucked me up bad.
No F's.
Fucked me up bad. But...
I got you. There.
Oh, no F's. I'm sorry.
I got a delay. It's all right. We're lab after dark here. So I honestly, and truly hope that you're receiving the help that you need, because you do need help. And as for your son, and to be honest with you, I really don't mind having this conversation. And if you want to send an email and we could, talk a little bit more, he's just a baby. You know what I mean? He's just your baby.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about, okay, what is he going to end up like down the road? Or if you teach him right now that stuff is unacceptable in every way, and you set that example for him, he'll turn out different.
That's my hope. My older boy, though, unfortunately, has had to witness some of this stuff, and that's what I'm concerned about, too. But he's 6, so I have 2 children. I have 2 boys, so from different fathers. I know I'm a whore.
No.
I'm a hussy. I swear. No. This was 6 years ago, but yeah, no. I promised myself that if a man ever or a woman unjustly put their hands on me again, that I would attempt to do something about it. And so I did. And this officer is lying, claiming that he never left and was listening to us, quote, carry on, which is ridiculous. But he did leave. And regardless, his higher up is going to show the photos of my injuries, because there were multiple of them to the DA and my medical report, my statement, so on and so forth. So just wish me luck. It's on January 4th. I also start training for a really good job that day that's going to significantly change the life for me and my kids. So I don't give a fuck what or I don't give any F's about what he has to say. Like, I'm over it. I've been packing his stuff. He's off my lease. He's not allowed on my property without supervision, which would be his uncle. His uncle works for the fire department, so he's done. He's cooked. He's not coming back here. I don't care. I'm done doing that kind of stuff. My older boy's dad did that stuff to me for years, and I stayed silent. The one time I fought back, he called the police on me. So right. It's just so funny. It's ironic, isn't it? But I digress. It is what it is.
I think that what you're doing is you're dealing with what you need to deal with. I mean, you've called the cops, you've pressed charges, he's out of your life. Don't go back, and don't listen when he tries to tell you, I will never do it again. I've never done it before. I'll never do it again. Don't believe it. And
I know.
If you're in the chat,
I don't. Sorry.
I want you to
tried telling me that crap. I want to fix this. I want to fix this, and it's like there is no fixing this.
No.
They're fixing you.
No, yeah, let him beat himself up.
That's it. He should be.
If he wants to fight, he can stick his head up his ass and fight for air. But what I'm telling you is, I want you to email the show, the Lab Rat Army. We'll put it in the chat, and let me know how that goes. You don't have to give me the details. I just want to, I am curious, and you just need to be safe.
I am taking all protective measures. I got my door fixed actually the other day, because there was former methods that lived in my apartment that constantly were breaking the door down because they were fighting with each other, and it was letting cold air in. I had the heat up to 80 degrees in my apartment, and it was still freezing cold. So I finally got my door fixed. So there's no carding my door. There's no getting in. So good. And I got my lock changed too, even though I have both keys. All my windows are locked. Everything's okay. I don't foresee him trying to break in. like I said, he's never been violent towards me sober, but regardless, I'll parent amicably, but only if it's somewhere else, not here, or with a supervision, and it's not going to be a very common, like, often thing, like I said, because I'm going to be working quite a bit. But anyways,
you hang in there.
Thank you for your time, Josh.
Please email
I love
the show.
you.
I appreciate it. Love you too.
I appreciate you so much, and thank you, Lab Rat. Sorry for taking up your time,
Not
but
at all. No, that's
I'm
what the
just
phone
so
lines
glad
are
I got
open
to
for.
talk to you. You're like one of my favorites, so
thank you. I appreciate
that makes me so happy.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you have a good night, dear.
You too. Take care.
All right, bye.
All right, back to. I would talk about our conversation, but I'm just trying to process it, and there's not really, it's just terrible, Another thing that really and thank you for the call, but one of the things that really bothers me, in those kinds of situations is the self-deprecation, the worthless feeling, the, I'm not good enough. There's a reason, all that kind of stuff. And none of that is true. Nobody deserves to be beat on or threatened or intimidated or whatever. It's not fair. And yeah, I mean, it just, all right, back to crazy guys. So she's got her TikTok back, and she just posted this just a few minutes ago. You just got to hear this.
For a few days, which is why I haven't posted any videos on this page. But someone commented and asked me how I felt about Rebecca Schofield.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, I was banned from posting and commenting for a few days, which is why I haven't
I've been banned from commenting and posting for a few days. Well, not long enough.
Posted any videos on this page. But someone commented and asked me how I felt about Rebecca Schofield's alibi that she was not in Idaho during the murders. For the life of me, I don't understand why y'all believe anything this lady say. But I get giving people the benefit of the doubt. I'm 100% convinced of everything that I've alleged. When I make mistakes, if you look back at my videos and you see Twitch, within 12 hours in one video, I deleted everything that I said, retracted my statements, and said I need to look into that further before I post anything else about him. I haven't posted anything because I haven't had the time to investigate, and I've left that alone. I've done over 100 videos regarding this case.
Yeah, we know.
I am convinced that what I'm saying is true. So I don't believe her. Hey, I was banned from posting and commenting for a few days.
So for some reason, she's like, okay, what am I going to do? The cops told me that she's out of town. I'm being sued, but I have evidence.
Also, stop saying that just because Jack DeCour wasn't arrested on the 23rd, that means I lack credibility. No, that doesn't mean that.
Did she say credibility, right?
Hey,
one of my favorite things is when people try and use words.
No, that doesn't mean that.
And they don't do it right.
That means I lack credibility. No, that doesn't mean that.
What?
That means I lack credibility. No, that doesn't mean that.
Credibility? Lack credibility? Seriously? Credibility? I mean, you can't say that you lack credibility and say credibility wrong, because your credibility goes right out the window. Credibility.
that means I lack credibility. No, that doesn't mean that. Just because Jack DeCour wasn't arrested on the 23rd, that means I lack credibility. No, that doesn't.
Oh my God. Credibility?
Sucker-muckagus.
Credibility? Credibility in what?
Sucker-muckagus.
All right.
So stop saying that just because Jack DeCour wasn't arrested on the 23rd, that means I lack credibility. No, that doesn't mean that. It means that I was irresponsible in posting a date in which the police were going to be arresting a person who was guilty or accused, let's just say that, of a quadruple homicide. Like, I have physical evidence against Rebecca Schofield.
You what? You have what?
Sucker-muckagus.
You have physical evidence against her and you haven't given it to the cops? Wow.
Sucker-muckagus.
That validates everything that I've said about her, but I can't speak on it now because it has to wait for court. So hopefully court doesn't take too long.
Oh, then you know nothing about court or civil court or any kind of court for that matter. The only court that you should be in is the courtyard at the mental institution if you're serious. If she's serious, and I'm telling you folks, I truly am so torn here about, is she chasing clout? Is she mentally ill? Is it a combination of both? And I think the bit of both thing is kind of a cop-out. I really feel like it's one way or the other here. First of all, if she thinks that that's what those cards are for, they're not. I looked into them. I even ordered some. I'm a good shuffler. That's right. I got the deluxe pack. But did anywhere in her cards, ever at any point tell her that she was going to get sued? You think that would be in the cards, right? That's an easy one coming down. You don't even need carrot cards for that. You know what I'm saying? You don't need carrot cards to tell you that you're going to get sued. I mean, you don't need a shaman. You don't need a priest.
From posting and commenting for a few days, which is why I haven't posted any videos on this page. But someone commented.
So she gets banned, and they give it back to her. Blah, 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 blah. They give her stuff back, Oh, yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I got my stuff. Like, I got my page back. Where are my cards? And she rips the cards again going, oh, I got evidence. Like, every single thing that she says here is going to be used against her. If you've ever heard that, if you've ever watched Law and Order, or if you've ever been arrested, and if you're a true crime creator, there's a good chance that you have a felony and that your Miranda rights. Anything you say can and will be used against you in, a court of law or a civil court or whatever, the frig, you know what I mean? And that happens. How do you not see that coming? Huh? Dum-dum? And that's what I'm going to call her. I'm going to call her dum-dum. Because I'm telling you, okay, I'm not going to call her dum-dum. Because I don't know if she's mentally ill. I think she's mentally ill. But, I don't know. I mean, she seems kind of put together, sort of. She gets up and stands up and walks. Eyebrows are on fleek. House looks clean. Nice Christmas tree. I like that Christmas. It's a nice Christmas tree. It really is a nice Christmas tree. Jamie Johnson. Jamie Johnson, we're live at 7 all this week. This is the third day in a row. Tomorrow we're on at 7. 4 days. If you don't have the notifications, tell Siri, hey, the lab's on at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, and in the middle of the country, you're on your own. Because I don't know. Some of you change your clocks. Some of you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Also, like, I have physical evidence against Rebecca Schofield.
No, so.
Hey,
I was reading something earlier today about, this. So this gets into this like First Amendment, freedom of speech debate, which is crazy because what she's doing technically isn't criminal. She's being sued. That's civil. That's not criminal. All right. But it should be criminal. What she's doing seems to be criminal. Everybody says you have freedom of speech. You have freedom of speech. Well, not really. You're not allowed to say fire in a public area when there's no fire. Because if you do yell that and then you incite panic or cause other people harm, that's against the law. That's not free speech. If you're telling me that she is flat out accusing somebody of murder, if she is absolutely accusing anybody of murder, she could get that person harassed, lose their job, be attacked, receive death threats. Luckily, this person, I don't think that people take her too serious, and that is a good thing. But what if somebody like me, you say, I try and stay close to the facts, but let's say one day I wake up and I'm mentally ill. It's not going to be very hard to imagine that. Let's just say I've gone off the deep end. Once again, not very hard to imagine that. What I don't get, and what I'll never get is, say I wake up and I'm going, hey, whatever this lady, this professor, yeah, she did. And there's going to be like 3 or 4 people that are going to take my word for it. And out of those 3 or 4 people, that's enough. That's enough to know, right? That's defamation at the highest level, accusing somebody of doing something. Like, you can't just call somebody a pedo. You got to have, you can call them a pedo if they're a pedo, but if they're not a pedo and you call them that and you say that they are, and you're accusing them of that, then, you can be in a lot of trouble. I believe that's civil. Oh, dude, she has, here's the crappy part. She has more followers than I do by a lot. I don't know about on YouTube. I have like 3 on TikTok. 2 of them are my grandma. I made her a profile and then she forgot her password. And so then I made her another one. And of course I had her follow me both times. And no, Grandma, I don't remember the passwords. You were supposed to write them down on your Publishers Clearinghouse envelopes, and you didn't. Sorry. I got out of, my bad. My bad. I love Grandma.
From posting.
Okay, so I don't want to talk. So okay, and then a beautiful little New York Times article, or New York Post, I believe. Was Dolly in the chat? I thought I saw somebody pretending to be him. Let me see here. Okay. Now, okay. Do you see Woody right here from Toy Story? Woody from Toy Story, or user 7638751495996, Woody. It's like, hey, if you have physical evidence and you don't turn them in, like you're I think she's going to be doing some serious time one way or the other, like either prison or mental ward. Physical evidence. If she shows up with her cards, they'll laugh and then fine her. But she did.
Are you
double
ready
down.
for retirement?
No.
Our free retirement.
All right. I don't want to hear that's depressing. All right. TikTok sleuth doubles down. Doubles down. Golly. Doubles down. Uh-oh. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, you most beautiful, loving soul.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am finer than frog hair.
Really? Do frogs really have hair?
Apparently.
Like, I've never been around frogs or anything.
No, that's how fine I am. Drum roll. Yeah, defamation to this level should be illegal.
Oh, and it's only civil.
It should be criminal. It
Yeah,
should be criminal to this level. It should be criminal.
I agree. I mean, I don't even think it should be a question.
Not, right?
Well, everybody wants to talk about their constitutional rights, but let me say this really fast. If it were you, not you specifically, caller, but if it were you who are saying, hey, she has a constitutional right, keep that same energy if she does it to someone like you or your family. I want you to keep that same energy, because there's no way you'd feel that way.
When you get fired from a job that you paid to go to college for degrees for, in advanced education, right?
Yeah.
And you get fired from, okay? And how that affects I don't know if she has a family or not, children, husband, significant other, I don't know. But how that affects everybody. You're not harming one person. And she's saying it about two people, because one hired the other.
Right.
Is what she's saying.
Right. Oh, she's going through anybody she can.
Yeah.
I just wonder, honestly, how do you think she came up with this name?
Joins the bandwagon.
Of course she did.
What's her name?
I think it's Ashley. Which one? Which one?
How do I think she came up with what name? Oh, the professor's name, the teacher, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. She comes through the staff list. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, well, let's see. What's your theory? Not about Crazy Horse, but just the situation in general. Do you have a suspect, or it sounds like you got an axe to grind with Jack?
No, I don't. I was saying Jack should join the same bandwagon as the professor here.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So she's doing the same to him.
Oh, man, of course. I'm sure that'll come up. It's going to have to. You just can't go around doing that.
Not asking about Hoodie Guy. I'm sorry.
they say Hoodie Guy's been cleared, I still.
Yeah, he's clear. He's cleared for us. Nobody's cleared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nobody's cleared. That's the thing. Clearing somebody means absolutely nothing. Like, what do you say? Oh, they're cleared, and then you find like a picture with them like doing the crime, and you're like, well, they're not cleared. You know, clearing means nothing.
Mm-hmm. But out of everything that's been speculated, that my own thoughts came up with as well as others, and you know, because you decipher through others as well, you're like, oh, that could be valid, and then you go in your own head and you either accept it could be valid or you kick it to the side and say, nah, right?
Yeah.
We all do this.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
I still am it's just odd to me, Hoodie Guy. Sorry, Hoodie Guy.
I don't even.
His behavior was odd, and that's the only odd thing that I've seen, really.
I think it's sorority related.
You do?
Oh yeah, for sure. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am of it. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not busting out my tarot cards for it. But I did. I ordered some tarot cards. I swear I did from Amazon. $9.99.
Did you order funny ones?
No. We're gonna get in touch with our spiritualities.
Did you get the crystal?
Did I get
and
what?
The pendulum?
No, I have a magic 8-ball. I'm set.
The kind you shake.
Yeah, but I broke
what are you
it.
Gonna ask it.
I broke it because I dropped it. I shook it too hard and then it fell. And so now it just kind of gives me like a blurred. So I kind of have to guess. I have to guess what the 8-ball is saying.
Did you shake it so hard? Did you shake it so hard because it was not giving you the answer you desired?
Well, look, I shook it like a salt shaker, okay? And yeah, it broke. Snapped under the pressure, flew right out of my hands. The G-force was too much. I wanted the answer to be correct, and it wasn't. So I got a little out of pocket.
I see.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to get a new magic 8-ball.
Or are they at Walmart?
I get.
Are they hard to come by nowadays, or you can see them at Walmart, Amazon?
Well, I get all of my supernatural equipment from Amazon exclusively. Sometimes Wish. Depends on what price is better.
Is that where you got your Ouija board?
On Wish, yeah, I did. I ordered my Ouija. I never got the Ouija board though. I wished I would have, and it didn't happen.
Are you sure? Because usually if you order something on Wish, when you get it, it's probably like a business card size. Well, you might have just missed it.
That's the weird thing was that, so when I ordered the Ouija board on Wish, the Magic 8-ball told me that I would never actually get it. And I didn't believe it.
And that's why you were mad and shook it.
I wanted my Ouija board. I didn't get it. You know what? To be honest with you, Ouija boards scare me. They're freaky.
Do you want to know how mad it would make me feel if I didn't get my Ouija board that I ordered from Wish?
I don't have the Magic 8-ball near me, but it's probably going to say very.
Just mad.
Just mad, not very mad.
He wanted to say hello again.
Oh, hey, buddy. Wow. That sounded like a Ouija board.
Isn't he sweet?
Yeah, he's delightful.
Doesn't it?
He's a ray of sunshine.
Now you just named my next dog. The next dog that I'm going to get is going to be named Ouija. Lucifer Ouija.
Christopher Ouija.
Lucifer.
George Jefferson and Ouija.
Oh, my God.
I mean, once again, that dog...
Did you ever look up Jesco White from West Virginia?
No, I never did, actually.
Yeah.
I know. I'm kind of a procrastinator. And
you would really understand.
I kind of understand that your dog Sounds like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That is what my cousin calls him, T-Rex.
Yeah, because he goes.
He does.
And I don't know why. Why does he
hasn't
make?
Been doing it lately. Oh, that was the other one. Mm-hmm. She's friendly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Super friendly. I would put my face right down next to theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Macho makes that noise sometimes, but sometimes he sounds more like he's letting out like air out of a balloon, just going, you know.
Oh, high pitch.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, yeah. But
Jesco used to do a growl, but then he would be like, wow, 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 in there too, like he's trying to talk to you.
Right. Well,
but he had all of his front teeth, top and bottom, pulled.
Why?
Oh, they had to be pulled, poor dog. Remember, this is the one I rescued that we don't know what happened to him.
Oh, yeah. That is sad. So did you get him dentures?
No. So now when he growls at you like that, he doesn't look nearly as intimidating.
And yeah, he's going to gum you to death.
Mm-hmm.
So does
and
he?
So I think that's why he can't do the la 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 part.
Wait, so the dog that you, the growling one, has no teeth.
Mm-hmm. Only no, just his incisors in the front. He has all his other teeth, which he has his canines, which are the bad ones that get you, but he just doesn't look as intimidating.
Oh man,
I love you too.
I love that. Yeah, I don't think he's saying he loves you, but that's okay.
Well, listen, when I ask him this question,
yeah,
can I pick you up? Can I pick you up? Come here, let me pick you up. There it is. Yeah.
Oh.
All I did was ask him a question. He said,
you didn't even touch him.
I asked him if I could pick him up.
But were you petting him when that happened?
No. Can I pick you up? Okay, then.
I can give you the answer. He says, no way in hell. He's saying, don't touch me.
Did you hear the little noise he made after I said okay then?
I did. He's settling down like a diesel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's too funny. Well, thank you for calling.
I'm moving away. Okay.
He's gonna bite you.
All right.
Well, thank you for calling. No. I always appreciate it.
He bite my husband today.
What's that? He did. I'm sure he did. I'm sure that he's a toothless dog. He's upset. I was going to tell you, my uncle, he has no teeth, but he does have false teeth, which sometimes he wears and sometimes he doesn't, which is a whole nother issue. But so he has somehow found a way, so without teeth, to eat apples. His gums are so hard now that he eats apples. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I was traumatized.
I don't know how one would do that. It would be so painful.
No, he just snaps them off like it's nothing. Fiji's and, Walla Wallas, any kind. Yeah, my uncle does growl. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Does he growl like that, Go?
Sometimes. Was that close?
And that's how I feel about this lady that we're talking about on screen too. That was pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she sucks big time.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the call.
Pretty bad. I look forward to the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Love and light. Take care.
Bye. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh my God, this is Victoria Patrick.
Hi.
How you doing, Jesse? What's going on?
How are you?
Third time to Third time caller. How's it going?
It's going, well, I'm a little terrified after that last call, but we're going all right.
The noise, I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Well,
sorry.
Man, we got some we got some cussers. It's all right. The show is completely tainted, but it was there.
Anyway,
what's that?
It's crazy, right? We're all tainted.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, it was just a reminder. It's all right. What can I do for you?
What did I miss? I missed the whole show. Better late than never, right?
Oh man. So what do you?
Better late than never, right?
What's that?
Better late than never, right?
I mean, better late than never. Never late is better.
Yeah, that's right. What did I miss? What's the show on tonight?
Well, look, we're just talking about tarot cards and stuff.
Oh, the tarot cards?
She's back.
She's back.
Yeah, she certainly is, and it's and she's doubling down. It's just getting worse and worse, but it's a situation that I think is going to degrade like very, very fast, and it already is.
SMD8. That's all I got to say on that. Shaking my damn head.
Yeah, it's
SMD8.
I think it's SMHD, shaking. Oh, SMDH, right?
Yeah, SMDH. Yeah, that's it. Shaking my damn head. But I just want to call in and say I love the lab.
Hey.
I love being a lab rat.
Love it. Appreciate it.
Even when I'm late, I put the replay and it's banging every time.
I appreciate you calling and saying that very much. Thank you.
All right. You have a good night, Dusty. And hope the pictures is doing good. My babies, my biscuit, the chub, the wub.
Yeah, they're doing. Otis was extra bad today, but that's just normal.
You gotta love him, though.
I love him.
Otis is going to be Otis, right?
Yeah, he's great.
That's like my burger doggy and my biscuit and my peaches, and I got Tiny and Hank the Stank. They're all bad sometimes.
Yeah, most dogs are, they do naughty things.
Yeah, just like children. I got 2 kids too. But anyway, have a good night, and I'm here for the rest of the show. I will catch the replay on the beginning, and love it as always. And I sent you a couple emails. I don't know if you got them, but I did email you.
Recently?
Victoria Patrick 234. I emailed you Victoria Patrick 234 on the Gmail. So check your email, bro.
Well, which one? Because there's 2 of them.
The Victoria Patrick 234.
Hey, I know, but which one did you email? Like what?
I sent both.
Oh, you went to both. Okay. All right.
I sent one on my cousin's cold case. I sent another one on the what was the second one I sent? I can't remember. I can't remember what the second one I sent, but
okay, yeah, no, I actually have that starred, so I just haven't gone through them yet. But
Dr. Phil on the Idaho Tour, the Dr. Phil show that he done on the Idaho Tour.
Oh,
that was the second.
I don't know if I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen that one, but I will definitely check it out.
Okay, I emailed you the link. The second email I sent you was the link on the Dr. Phil show. Beautiful. On his perspective and the whole thing he done on the Idaho Tour. And the first one I sent was my cousin's, close family member, whatever, cold case. It's went cold. I basically call it cold because, you read the email, you get the gist of it,
Gotcha. I certainly will.
But that's the key. All right. Have a good night, and I love your show. I love being a lab rat.
Appreciate that, always.
And hey, everybody, Linda and Lulu and all y'all, and Teresa M, and I love all your mods.
Thank you.
Much love. Y'all do a good job.
All right. Take care. Thank you for calling. Man, the phones are blowing up tonight. Blowing up. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
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 Hi, Canada. How are you?
Hello. Oh, how did you know?
Hey.
Oh, you saw it on the screen, eh?
I did. Yeah, it's an actual calling system. It tells me your name too.
Okay. Yeah, and my name is Caroline.
Hello.
Caroline, sorry. Yeah, hi, and I love your show. I started watching you one day just out of the blue. I started when my daughter passed away in 2019. And to that caller that called the first time, I give my heart. But I want to tell her one thing before I start, is that nothing is worth anything. But when you look at your children, they are the most precious things in life. And you need to focus on just you and your children. Because without your children, like myself, I feel like nothing if you don't have your children with you. Nothing is worth anything. He needs help, obviously, and hopefully he gets it. But right now, she needs to focus on her and the kids. And if she needs help, there's a lot of help out there. You can talk to people on your show or even yourself, because you're just an amazing guy. I have been, since I've watched your show, I see you. And I see how passionate you are. You are a very passionate person, very caring, and you care about a lot of things. And that's why I watch you and Chris and I was going to say Dirty Ron, but Duty Ron. And basically, you guys are amazing. I won't watch anybody else.
Well, I appreciate
because
that.
It's a very BS with most of them, and a lot of things that are always said and stuff, and I'm always the quiet one. I try not to say anything unless I really want to say it. So to all the mods, I appreciate them. They're amazing. And all the people that we're just talking right now, I give my heart to all of them. They're just nice people, you know? And it's too bad and these poor kids. You know, I know how it feels to lose a child. I lost mine 2019 from an overdose. So, you know, I live every moment. I have adopted her children, and me and my two boys are raising her kids. And it isn't an easy thing. But you know what? I have to live for them because they need me. And that's why I'm here. And basically watching your show has made me realize so much in life. Life is so precious, you know? And with these 4 kids that got killed, I don't believe it's anybody but somebody that they know. And somebody has gotten mad about something and nothing more. I don't believe that it was a serial killer or anything else. I believe that it was planned. It was planned probably for a couple of weeks before they did it. You know?
Like it was an escalating situation.
Oh, yeah. An escalating situation.
I kind of think that too.
You know, the noise and that. I mean, I hear my people next door sometimes getting loud, and it gets very annoying. It can really drive you friggin' nuts. But, you know, the best thing to do is call 911, get the cops there. Don't deal with it yourself. You know, if it's a continuous thing, that's how you deal with it. You don't know, go knocking on the door because you don't know if somebody's going to come out and do something to you.
Right.
You know?
No, I agree.
So,
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes we can't just take things in our hands. We have to get the cops to take their, and they're there for a reason. I'm not saying every cop is perfect, you know, but at least 99% they are. You know?
Yep. I was watching, I was just telling my son the other day, the new episodes of Cops have came out, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm going, who would ever want to be a cop? It's just such a difficult job.
I know.
It's a pain in the ass.
I know my grandson, the oldest one, that my daughter's son, he just turned 18 in May last year, and he is just, I'm so blessed because he got picked for university. And then when I started watching this, I'm going, I don't want you to go. You're not going anywhere.
Right.
You're staying right here in Ottawa, you know.
Right.
You're not going to the States, and you're not going, because, you know, you do get worried,
For
you know.
sure.
I don't care what any parent
any good parent is always going to worry about their child going, you had them in your life and then all of a sudden they're gone. It's hard to let your kids go sometimes.
I don't know how some of these people sleep.
I know at first when my kids were little, I could not even allow. I was always there a half an hour early before my kids got out of school.
Yeah.
I was like just waiting there, and my people were saying, "Why do you go so early?" And I'm going, well, what if they came out early and I didn't see them? There's always so many crazy people out here. You don't know who's going to be out there before and who's going to nab your kid, So I was always standing by the door half an hour ahead of time,
No doubt.
But, I was possessed over my children.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That's how you have to be.
Oh, God. It is, and it's because there's so much, like even in Ottawa right now, there has been, in Toronto and that, there's been a lot of craziness stuff, and you thought that since the pandemic that it was getting better and that they were hiding out, like nobody was coming out to do crimes, and then all of a sudden, when things were starting to get a little bit better, here it goes again, sort of thing.
Just...
It's like, I know that there was crimes, even though that, I'm sure that people hid it a lot, but still, we live in a crazy world and it's so sad. It is so sad,
I agree with you.
I don't know how, like you can't even sometimes, walk out of your house. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring us, right? So
100%. There's no question about that. Well said. And
yeah.
Thank you for sharing with us, and I know, I don't know how old those boys are. 2 boys?
My oldest son, he is 42 now, and my youngest one just got married in July, and he just turned 34. He says, Mom, I'm doing it the right way. I'm going to make sure I get married and then have my kids after. I'm not going to be like everybody else. And I said, You are, I said, obviously I taught you right.
Right.
Right. So that, I'm very blessed with 9 grandchildren.
Well,
yeah, I am very blessed.
And the 3 of you are raising the 2 grandkids?
Yeah, my son adopted. I had the oldest grandson for a year before my daughter passed away. And, we decided because he wanted to chill with my younger son, which they came from Ottawa and then they moved to St. Thomas near Toronto. I think it's about 2 hours away from Toronto. And then he took him for the 3 years now. And they're all doing wonderful.
Okay.
My other son adopted the other 2, and this little one, there's 4 kids. So the little one, he just, at the beginning of his birth, so he was very young. He was only 8 months when she passed away. And we found out, we were wondering why he wasn't walking, that he had CP, cerebral palsy.
Wow.
So we got him all the help that he needs. He goes to the children. He goes to school at the Children's Hospital and everything else. So, we're doing all the right things, and stuff. And my granddaughter was the only one, and she turned 16 on her mom's birthday, which is a very difficult time for her. And I understand, it's her mom's birthday at the same time as her. And it's hard, but we all got them some counseling right away because you have to. That's our duty as raising children. You have, if you see signs of things that are wrong with your children, go get it right away. You love your children, you go and get the help that you need for these kids. And I got help with them because my daughter's passing took a toll on me, and I will always love her and miss her very, very much. She got into something with the boyfriend of the youngest son, and it didn't turn out very good. But we went right in, and after I had to take the life support off of her, and it was a very difficult time for me to even do that. but it was either that or she would have been a vegetable. So it's not an easy thing for parents to go through all of this stuff. So I know about being abused because she was abused, and things just didn't turn out the way she was, and it happens, and I have to live with that for the rest of my life. But I have to live with making sure her children are okay, and that's number one. My priority is my grandchildren.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. My grandmother, who obviously raised me and my sister, and when she took us in, she was a mess. I mean, she was just a mess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
It's because it's your mother. It's because it's your mother, her daughter, of course, And, we all say, okay, that, that idiot, he did this and he did that. Obviously, as being brought up, something happened to them in their life when they started. I'm sorry, but, there's always a story to a story, right? And, I give all my hats up to all the grandparents that have taken their grandchildren and did so much. Like even that case there with that little boy, and they found the body in the garbage. Where was she when she adopted? Was it all about money? Like, come on, you let your daughter that wasn't even supposed to be around around the children. You took those kids in. You don't leave. Obviously, there was something wrong. You knew she had a drug addiction. Why would you leave your children with even my daughter? I would not allow her. She had to be supervised by me. That was it, before the passing.
Wow.
And you know what? I had to do what was right for my grandchildren.
Yes.
They don't need and they don't deserve. They were not meant to be brought on this earth for a reason. They were brought on this earth no matter how much I loved my daughter. It was my grandchildren that I had to protect. And that's the way it is. You want children, then you owe up to your responsibility, or close your legs and don't have them.
I understand that completely. And I tell you at the same, and I really appreciate your calling. You're spot on with everything that you're saying. But the Quentin Simon case must have just hit you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, but you know what? Too bad, eh? Mm-hmm.
Well, because I know that there are just some cases that resonate more, with certain people. Not that they're not we're not all interested in all of these cases, but at the same time, some of them, I mean, you're in that position where you're going, I would never, ever leave my grandkids with my daughter, right, in the state that she's in.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And no matter how you know what it is, it's called tough love, right? Tough love. And no matter what, I know my daughter and what happened at that point where she was at a place that she never went to for a long time, and she fell asleep and they shot her up. And I'm still going to court after 4 years. It's taking this long to prove that it was done on purpose, that she was killed on purpose, because a lot of them didn't like her,
right,
and some did. And you know what? No matter what, I still had an obligation for my grandchildren that they had to be protected. And kids need to be protected. No matter what. I know it's hard. And I know when you love your child so much, I love my daughter to the world, to the stars and back. But I still had to do the right thing for my grandchildren. They didn't need to see it, and they didn't need to be around it. And I know she loved her children, and I know they loved her back. But I still had to do what was right for those kids and to protect them away from her. It was the hardest thing, Sean. Even my son, his name is Sean. and my boys never, ever got into that kind of stuff. They loved their sister. They would run to find where she was. She would run. This is what drug addicts do, and it's very hard, and they cried a lot, my boys. And we always have her picture. beside the kids so that they know, your mother was sick, but we still had an obligation for those kids.
The innocence of children need to be protected at all costs.
Exactly. And I know other people have a hard time, I love my daughter or I love my son. Okay, so be it. We do. But sometimes we have to be tough love. And that tough love, we tried to get her help, and still she would run. And then she would go back in and she would run. And it's a sickness. And
those addictions are just absolutely nuts, man. And
it is. It's going around.
I've never had an addiction problem, right? But I know plenty that have, and I have family members, close family members.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who is. Go ahead.
Yeah, my ex-husband was like that too, and from this day he's been in jail for many years. And you know what? I was separated actually for 30 years, and I finally got my divorce when my daughter passed away.
Wow.
And he's been in jail ever since. And you know what? My kids will not have anything to do with them. And I told them I will always give you the choice to see him if you want to, but you know what? I don't agree with it. But you got to give your kids the choice to do it, because you don't want them going back to you and saying, "Oh, you never let me see him," or "You never did this," or "You never did that," and then you're the bad one, sort of thing. But it's not like that. You're trying to protect them, and this is what you see. But now that they're older, they always say, "You know what? I can't believe." And I could never believe, because when I separated, he never was into drugs. It's who he ended up being around with after. And as soon as my daughter passed away, I got my divorce right away. I went into the courtroom and said this and this and this, and they gave me it, and I didn't have to pay for it or nothing. I went to the judge. I explained to them everything. They gave me my divorce right away.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was very blessed. And I said, because my kids, I need to protect my kids. They were small. I need to do what's right for my kids. And no matter what, he was abusive. He was an alcoholic. And I didn't want my kids to live like that anymore, or myself at the age of 5, 7, and 8. No, I said, finally, you know what? No matter how much, and this girl needs to listen to this, no matter how much you think that you love them, you know what? That's not love. Love is nothing. If a person even gets into drugs or into saying I love you and hitting you, once they hit you, that's it. You'll know that. And you don't want to bring your kids up around drugs. Come on, these kids weren't born to have to put up with that. Why would why bring up children if you're going to be into this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't think that's the plan at first, but people are selfish and put their needs above their children's, whether or not for a lot of different reasons, not just drugs and alcohol, but it is terrible. But I appreciate you sharing.
You know what, Sean, too? And in 2016, I ended up being paralyzed in life support because I had a flu shot. And I got really sick. So just imagine, and I can walk. I can't walk long distance. I do use my walker a lot, but I am in a wheelchair for long distance and whatever. And I still raise those kids.
Right.
Oh,
absolutely. Oh, you are a true mother, grandmother through and through. And
thank you.
It is nice to hear that. So thank you for calling.
Yeah. And you too, eh? And to everybody in the chat room and that, you know what? We all got to stick together. You need help. There's a lot of help out there. Even go to Sean if you need help. He'll find you the way.
No doubt.
Right, Sean?
Right.
Okay, sweetheart. Have a good night, guys.
Take care. Thank you.
Good night. Good night, honey.
I think she thinks my name's Sean. That's all right. You can call me Sean. It's Josh, but I like that name. I like the name Sean. Let me see. Hold on one second here. Let's see here. I was just watching a movie with Sean Connery. I like Sean Connery. If I was a Sean, I'd spell it Sean. I truly love it here, Josh. Thank you for giving us a safe place to come together. You're one of a kind for sure, and the mods here are the best. I can't. It's hard to disagree with that. I'm an Sean kind of guy. Yeah, Sean's cool too. I don't mind. Yeah, call me whatever you want. Joshy, Shawnee, Daniel. My grandma calls me Josh Daniel when she's mad at me. She goes, Josh Daniel. She hits you with that country soul, you know. You know that you messed up in a major way. Like if you hear the Josh Daniel, and I'm like, oh God, just take me now, Jesus. Take me now. Just damn.
I'd like to welcome forensics professor Joseph Scott Morgan from Jacksonville State University. Joseph, thank you so much for being here. So we'll dive right in. Based on Nancy's reporting, do you get the sense the town is getting back to normal and this case is no longer top of mind for residents? And how does that impact law enforcement's energy in this investigation?
No, it's not. It's not removed from their mind. It's forefront. They're probably just getting used to the idea that that this is going to be part and parcel of their life for weeks and months to come, perhaps years. And they're getting used to seeing news trucks there. It's a new paradigm for them in this environment, and they're adjusting to it. That one young man made a very salient comment, though. He said that this, in his opinion at least, and I'm paraphrasing here, that this is just the way things are pursued relative to the police. And we have to, I still urge everyone to be very, very patient in this case, because the answers to this case are going to rest in the science, I believe, at the end of the day. We have a lot of hyperbole that's bouncing about. We have a lot of static on social media. And granted, the nation can't get enough of this case, but at the end of the day, it's going to come back to the evidence that they collected at the scene and the processing that's been going on for all of these weeks. And, in the whole grand scheme of things, Kelly, this is not a long time. Now, there are certain elements that are probably close to completion now from a testing standpoint, but still we come back to the elephant in the room, and that's DNA. And it's, as I have held from the beginning, it takes a while to unspool all of this because it's multi.
All right, where's Phil with FIL? Where's Phil at? I don't know. I don't know about this guy. He's smart and all that. Blah. I miss Phil.
Layered.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So in these types of cases, is it more likely that the killer is lurking locally or that this person or persons fled the area?
Well, in this charming little town, this is not a place that you wind up in by accident.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to be purposed to be going there. Just like the person that committed this crime that night, we're into, I don't know, the 6th week, heading into the 7th, I guess. They were purposed to be at that home. They didn't just accidentally, wind up there. And so you have to take all of that into consideration. The individual that perpetrated this case probably has, more than likely an intimate familiarity with the environment, with the location geographically, and maybe just the connectivity to the university or perhaps these individuals that were the victims here. I think that we can probably rest upon that. And that in and of itself is going to be key, because that's a tie back to the hard science here when we begin to think about, the utility of the weapon that was used, the access to the weapon, the access to the home.
Thank you, Lisa.
Their points of egress in the home, and
I
certainly
hear
any
circus
kind of
music.
trace
Thank you.
elements that were left behind.
I saw yours earlier.
In
Sorry.
this case, we think about hair, fiber, certainly DNA, fingerprints, anything that was left behind, shoe prints. There was a copious amount of blood. We do know that at the scene. So there's a chance that something has been left behind that can be tied back to this individual.
Sometimes I wonder when people use, like, let's say copious amounts of blood, and, congratulations. You could just say there was a lot of blood. I'm guessing 50% of Americans don't even know what copious means. I have a copious amount of annoyance when people use those kind of words sometimes. Just use your real people words and we'll understand you. You have to sit up there pontificating.
I think that, I can't say that they're still there or not, but I do know that there is some kind of connection to this location.
All right, we have about 40 seconds left, but I'd like to get this question in. Recently, and I'm sure you know this, a TikTok creator accused an Idaho professor of the killings without evidence. So even though the professor is suing the creator, she's not backing down from her claims. So how distracting is this sort of thing for investigators?
It's very distracting. But, I used the word paradigm just a moment ago. This is not back in the
paradigm, a copious amount of paradigms.
Day, as people say. This is the new paradigm that investigators are faced with. It's kind of like, I was thinking about it today, it's kind of like a Swiss watchmaker. It's got this beautiful watch in front of them, and there's a 50-piece band playing all around them. It's intricacy that's involved here, and that's very important. You have to understand that, and it's just a distraction. It's something we have to learn to live with now.
All right, forensics professor Joseph Scott Morgan. Really interesting. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, who says copious? There was copious amounts of. I ate an inordinate amount of bagel bites yesterday, or I ate a copious amount of bagel bites yesterday, or I ate lots and lots of bagel bites and lots of corn dogs and lots of, copiousness. If I was a cop working on this case and turned on the TV and saw these nattering nabods, or nabods? Nabods. I don't know what that means either. Plethora. Yeah, plethora is still a word that, come on.
For watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Copious amounts of fact-driven, unbiased coverage. All right, so here's where the things get a little interesting here. An egregious, copious amount.
3.5 weeks later, a killer still on the loose after 4 University of Idaho students savagely stabbed to death in the middle of the night. Police pressed for answers from a frightened community, many wondering, is the case going cold as investigators work around the clock?
These computer systems have to be robust, and they have to be very secure, because we're dealing with very sensitive patient data.
Well, Moscow police are coming up on 7 weeks now investigating the murder of 4 universities.
I bet like the police department was like, can you stop counting?
University of Idaho college students, they still have no suspect, no murder weapon, no.
Why does it do that? Like
vehicle.
I don't like
someone
that.
tied to this case who perhaps
if you pause it, it goes all the way up there, and then
knows more than they're letting on. This is what Moscow police seem to think. In an update Tuesday, police said, quote, investigators believe someone has information that adds context to what occurred on the night of the murders, and they're continuing requesting additional pictures, video, and social media content. Let's bring in Chris Swecker. He's retired FBI assistant director. Chris, when you hear this from Idaho police, Do you think this is a fishing expedition? They just want to get as much information as they can, or are they sending some kind of a message to a potential suspect by saying someone is withholding information?
Fishing.
No, I think they're fishing. This case is, 7 weeks into it. I think a lot of resources have drained off. They still have some FBI agents, and they really need more analysts, in my opinion, going through the data that they have using artificial intelligence and case management application that the FBI brings to the table. But I think they're fishing for more leads. They may know a lot about the crime itself or the crimes, and they have virtual layouts of the crime scene. They have all their trace evidence that they've collected from the scene, but I don't think they know anything about the killer.
When you say that you think they need to bring some more analysts in, is the implication there that they're understaffed in some capacity?
You never can get enough analysts in a case like this. When I read about the number of leads that they have, tips that have come in from the public, the amount of video that they have to go through, and of course the interviews, which you can never do too many interviews because that's really where the good information comes from. But all that information has to go into a case management application. The FBI brings that to the table. Then the analysts can sort through that and make matches or try to make matches or test out theories or test that any leads that have come in, test those leads against the data that they have to see if they're credible. So this is a time for analysts more so than the actual investigators on the street.
They've gotten more than 10,000 tips so far, they tell us. Take a listen to Jonna Spilbor yesterday and what she said about what you just mentioned.
How about taking a second look at those potential suspects that they quickly dismissed? Secondly, how about let's investigate outside?
Oh my! I mean, honestly, if I was investigating this case and I had to listen to that, no. What the hell? Come on! I waited my commercials. This is bullcrap.
They're looking for you.
Who? Who's looking?
There is no time. They will kill you.
But my daughter.
Taliban march through the streets as chaos continues. It's hard to put into words because most of the people will not get through.
Segment sucks too.
And is the implication there that they're understaffed in some capacity?
You never that they have tips that have come in from the public, the amount of video that they have to go through, and of course the interviews. The FBI brings that to the table. Then the analysts can sort through that and make matches or try to make matches
Fox
or
News.
test out theories or test that. Any leads that have come in, test those leads against the data that they have to see if they're credible. So this is a time for analysts more so than the actual investigators on the street.
They've gotten more than 10,000 tips so far, they tell us. Take a listen to Jonna Spilbor yesterday and what she said about what you just mentioned.
How about taking a second look at those potential suspects that they quickly dismissed? Secondly, how about let's investigate outside the box? And I'm not suggesting that, there's anything nefarious going on within law enforcement, but let's take a look at.
But here's the thing. When you say something like that, you kind of are. Whether you are or aren't, or whether you mean to or not, pointing it out demonstratively or angrily for the uninitiated, you kind of are. You're kind of casting aspersions.
For the campus.
And frankly, I'm shocked and dismayed.
For example,
disheartened and flabbergasted.
Sounds like something you could do with some more investigators, some more analysts.
You sure could.
Oh yeah, let's just have everybody from Quantico head on up to Idaho. There's nothing else going on anywhere else in the world.
Sometimes there is tunnel vision, and I personally believe that there was some tunnel vision in the beginning, and all this rhetoric about targeting a specific person and everybody else is okay because this was a targeted attack, which turned out to be, I thought was absolutely untrue from the very beginning.
Unfounded.
They had no way of knowing that. That I think that
erroneous. Let's go.
Is a reflection of some tunnel vision. I don't.
Third grade spelling bee champ runner up.
I don't think they created a large enough perimeter.
Fourth runner
for their
up.
evidence.
There was only 5 of us in there. Aspirin for a third grader is hard to spell, and I don't care what anybody says. And I don't care that my class made fun of me for the rest of the year. I got 4th runner up spelling bee champion.
Tape. They should have been a couple hundred yards out in every direction, particularly behind the house where you had mud and snow where the killer likely came from. So unfortunately, and I don't want to throw the department under the bus, but I think unfortunately the crime scene itself.
But I'm going to. So that's what he's going to follow it up with. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but guess what? The wheels on the bus. Oh my God. I don't want to see it. Okay, whatever. I'm done with this guy. Okay, so one thing. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah, that guy sucked. So, okay. Now, here is something that I found absolutely fascinating. Creator by the name of, and I say creator, she hosts the show. She does fantastic work. Her name's Sweetie Pie Low. And she had this post today, and I don't know how they know that this is a verified, Ethan's brother verified. I really don't know how that's verified, but they say it is. But let me just read her community post real quick because I think that this is very interesting. Ethan's brother, not Hunter, recently said on Reddit 11 hours ago, which is it's further back now, in response to a user. See, wackadoo. Chris, my favorite is when Chris says cuckoo for cocoa. They're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Wackadoo. There's a bunch of them. Okay, so recently said on Reddit 11 hours ago, it was in response. Okay, here we go. Come on now. Come on. In response to a Reddit user saying that law enforcement needs to start releasing information, he responded with the following: they don't and they won't. The families want a conviction, not an arrest. The police and FBI are not here to please curious minds. They are building a case to make sure whoever did this is convicted and the families get some sort of closure, if at all possible. I don't think I ever will. I so badly wish I could just come on here and blurt out everything I know that the public wants to hear. But because I respect my family and Ethan, I will hold on to it until the time is right. That is a very interesting statement. And I believe that it is verified. I trust Sweetie Pie Low and the moderators on that specific channel do very good. And even if it wasn't, everything that kid just said is true. And it gives me hope. It gives me hope. I don't know if it's shady. I don't feel it's shady. I don't think it's, I don't feel that way, you know? I don't know. I found it interesting. California has copious amounts of rain, unfortunately. And as Peyton, continues his backpacking through Disneyland, cupcaking with his girlfriend. Wrong, Chris. My name's not Chris. feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Across the distance and spaces between us. Oh, yeah.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? This to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Thank you for being here.
I have to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Appreciate it.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? This to me.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's interesting. Thank you guys for being here. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, it's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? This to me. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
No, it's not a mini mullet. I promise.
But I have to.
There is no investigation.
There is no
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation.
But I have to put her.
No problem,
But
Lucy.
I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
Sucker-muckagus.
Rhinoceros.
could go into heavy detail, and I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
Josh Birnbaum, step on up. Get on the scale, son. All right. Get off the scale.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain! Get in my belly!
Suckamuckagus.
Rhinoceros.